Whew, it's almost too much light.
The cat is on board.
Happy New Year, Kat. How are you this evening? Pulling out my glasses cleaner because they're foggy and I can't see. Thank you, Kat, for the beautiful picture and the card and the money that was inside. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. I hope you got enough out of your talk the other day. If you have any other questions about it or can't remember any of it, just get a hold of me. I was glad to have you here because I enjoyed talking to you. Happy New Year, Deborah. Bad news, Deborah. Just got a letter the other day from the Illuminate festivals. We had booked all the Illuminate festivals for 2020, and then they were going to postpone them into 2021. And all the money we had to put towards all the other ones, they were just going to bring it over into 2021. Well, we just got a letter the other day. They are canceling everything in 2021 also, and they're going to postpone them maybe till later 2021. And they'll send me a letter letting me know when we can re-sign up for them. So they're going to send us a check back of all the other ones. Should be somewhere around $600 or $800, but they're going to send us let us know when we can sign up for them again. So whenever that will be, we don't know yet. As I've said before, I've been saying to people, someone I posted on Facebook yesterday that I said 2021 wasn't going to be any better than 2020. It's going to be actually worse than 2020. And someone posted back to me and said, oh, that's the way to go into it, with a glass half full. My glass isn't half full. My glass is completely full because I understand what is happening and what's going to happen. And we knew it before. So it's not half full. My glass is full. Everyone else is half full, with a quarter of dreams and a quarter of wishes, and waiting for the other half to be filled up by what they hope will happen that will come back. It's just not going to come back anytime soon. The new normal hasn't even been conceived yet. They don't know what the new normal is going to be because they're just not sure. Nothing can be planned until they figure out a way to get around all this, a way to work around everything. So we don't know when that's going to happen. And Tammy comes in, says, hello, Daniel. Hello, Tammy. Happy New Year to you. I hope everybody's New Year works out better for them this year. But I mean, it's not that a lot of people were not busy this year. It's just a lot of things had to be changed and postponed and done differently. But that's going to be our future for the next 4 years, at least 3 of this same kind of mess, and then another total of 3 more after that. That will be rebuilding of all this mess. It's supposed to be, like I've told people before, it's going to be a total of 7 years of this. It's just hard to wrap our heads around it because we've never had to do this before. It's not easy to do. No different than people who were living back in the times of First and Second World Wars. They just didn't know what was going to happen with the country. So they didn't know when the wars were going to end and how it was going to affect their lives for the next few years. And that's the way this is right now. We're fighting a different type of world war. We just we don't know what the outcome is going to be and when it's going to happen. So, as I say, buckle up and prepare for the ride, because it's going to be worse from here on out. Deborah says, well, that's good news that you got the money back. Well, I haven't gotten it back yet. So they say I'm getting a check soon, but who knows? Yeah, most of us just don't know what's going to. They told us, Spirit told us 3 or so years ago about what was coming. They told us how it's going to be. And we told you, Deborah, we told a few others to prepare and be prepared for a long time. And we got to be in this for the long haul. It's not something that's just going to be here for a year and then people think, oh, we're going to get a vaccine and it's all going to go away. Well, if you've seen some of the reports from the vaccine, people are taking the vaccine and then having problems because of the vaccine. A couple of people, my wife told me, went into anaphylactic shock. So what's that tell you right there?
CNN reported an 80% side effect rate.
80% side effects, but they said it's good. They said it's 92%. That 92% of it, it'll work for 92% of the people, but 80% of the people are now, or 80% are going to get, or 80% chance that you're going to get something because of it. So do you want to take that? Do you want to take that kind of chance? It's an 80% chance you might have some type of side effect. I know I don't. I was just recently at my doctor the other day. They're going to sign me up to get an actual test for COVID because I have to go in for surgery. So I have to wait till I get the test first, and then after results come in, then they'll sign me up for the surgery. I have to get foot surgery. I've hurt my foot too many times, sticking my foot in my own mouth. Because of diabetes, I lost my big toe on my left foot over, wow. It's been over 15, 16 years ago. And my 2 big next toes have curled up. And because they've curled up, they touch the ground too much. And I keep getting a boo-boo on one of my toes. So I'm going to go in and they're going to take the bones out, and so it'll flatten my toes out. So, but in order to do that, I got to go get a COVID test, and I'm not too happy about that. But you know, it is what it is. So tonight's video, tonight's topic, we are going to talk about the video I just released the other couple of weeks ago called for Ancestry. Ancestry.com, 23andMe, all that stuff. Should you bother with Ancestry.com or 23andMe and all those companies? Absolutely not. It's pointless. For one thing, the person you're looking up that lived 100 years ago that just happens to look like you is you. It's just we keep coming back over and over and over again because we haven't fulfilled our purpose. You got to fulfill the purpose, people. That's the whole point of this, what we're doing here. And in order to fulfill that purpose, there's a task you got to do. You got to go out and help people, and just for the sake of helping it. You help people because you can, not because it's going to benefit you or anything else other than that. You're trying to help them, and in helping them, it helps you. And the way that it helps you is it's going to keep you from having to come back here again. And that's the goal of it. But doing these ancestry things, looking up your family and where they come from, where do you come from? Well, my heritage is English, Irish, and Italian, mostly Irish. But that's this time around. That's when I was born, and my relatives were all from England, Irish, Ireland, and Italian. This time, but the previous life before that, not. The previous lives before, in each of our lives, your family may have come from a different part of the world. So looking up your ancestry, where you came last time, not important. Same thing with people who are interested in their past life regression. I'm going to put it to you plain and simple. If your previous lives were so important, so fulfilled, why are you here now? Was it that important? If it's that important, then why are you here now? Because if it was that important, you wouldn't be here. For each life that you had previously, you didn't fulfill your purpose. And that's why you're back here now. So are those previous lives important? Not one bit. It's okay to find out information about what you did in those previous lives, but is it going to help you in this life? Not at all. You're here to do what you're doing here in this life, not worrying about what you did 3 or 4 or 5 lives ago. It doesn't affect you. It's just it's a story that you can tell your friends. Oh, wow, I was a butcher or a baker or a candlestick maker, in all my other lives.
It's queen of everything.
Yeah, I was a little bit of everything, but does it make up who you are now? No. Does it make up your personality? No. Well, part of your personality from each one of your lives comes through, and that's what makes up your personality now. But you didn't fulfill your purpose in that life before. And people are, but it would be so cool to know that. Well, if it was so cool, cool is not the important thing we're supposed to be doing. We have a responsibility here. The responsibility is to take care of each other. And those other lives, you may have been cool, but you weren't responsible in those lives. You didn't take care of the people you were supposed to take care of, because obviously if you had done that, you wouldn't be here now. I'm not trying to say this to scold anyone, to say, hey, you're an idiot or something and you didn't do things right, which is a lot of people anyway. But I'm here to tell you, if you want to stop having to come back here, because in this life you're living right now, we're going through this COVID thing. We've gone through many things in our lives. There's been times when, even when we were young, there was threats of wars and nuclear attacks, all that stuff. We've all heard it before. We've all had the drills where we had to sit underneath of a desk, when we were kids in school. because school desk was going to protect you from nuclear warfare, but wasn't. But we've all been through it. We've all been, if you lived back in the 70s, the time when there was a gas shortage, and now right now we've gone from gas shortage to toilet paper shortage. So we've all gone through something. But the life that you would have to live in next, that's the important one. As I've explained to people, if you die before the age of 30, you will come back 8 years later if you haven't fulfilled your purpose. If you die after the age of 30, if you have to come back again, you'll come back 80 years later. So for us, 80 years from now, it's going to be,
It's going to be a shitstorm.
2021, 21, instead the year will be 2100, right?
Yeah.
You're gonna come back into what my wife just said, a shitstorm. Because if you notice what we're doing now is we're screwing up this world, screwing up to the point where when you come back into this world, and bless you,
Oh, thank you.
you're already blessed. You're here with me. When you come back into this world 80 years from now, the world is not going to be anywhere near what you see it now. We're not getting into the Jetsons. We're not going to be Star Trek or Star Wars, anything like that. Anyway, Star Wars was a faraway galaxy anyway. So we're not going to get to that point. 80 years from now, this is going to be a war-torn place. There's going to be so much destruction around you. It's going to be like living in, like the people in Beirut are living right now around that area. That's what it's going to be like over here, but it's going to be dangerous to live because of all the radiation. And that's what we're headed towards. I know people don't want to think about that, but it's coming in our lifetimes. If you are going to be here for the next 25 or 30 years, it's coming in your lifetime.
Radiation, pollution,
right?
Crop losses, famine.
Yep, we're already having famine. We're already having crop losses here in the United States. So
bizarre weather patterns.
It's all, very. I mean, I can remember when I was a kid. We had a lot of snow all the time. We're not having snow these winters lately. We haven't had snow in a good 4 or 5 years, and I mean a good snow in 4 or 5 years. We've been having mild winters and a very, very hot summers. I like to ride my motorcycle, and I didn't get to ride my motorcycle very much in the past 2 years because it's been so hot outside. I can't go out there. It's like riding your motorcycle under a hairdryer. It's just so hard to do because it just beats you down. You don't want to do it. So that's what I'm saying. You want to fulfill your purpose. You want to not have to come back here again, because the next life that's going to be here 80 years from now is going to be like living in the 1700s, where there's no running water, there's no computers, there's no cars, no electricity, none of that stuff. And I don't want to have to, I try to express it as much as I can, but I don't want to feel like I have to beat it into somebody's head that, hey, you need to go out and fulfill your purpose. Because I try to tell everyone as much as you can, because I want good things for you. I want you to be able to go home, which is go home to heaven from here, and be able to stay there. Or if you want to come back and be a spirit guide for someone else, but at least you don't have to live through all the crap. You're just watching it. And you're trying to guide someone else through all that. But some people will listen, and some people will fulfill their purpose. Like, let's see, who has here? Deborah has fulfilled her purpose. Quite a few of you haven't. You got to get out there and do the best you can to do that. You have some time. But as I was explaining to someone the other day, that when someone comes to me and I do a reading for them and I tell them, well, you haven't fulfilled your purpose, but you have some time. And they say, how much time do I have? And I always let them know how much time they have to fulfill their purpose. But there's a double meaning into that. If I tell someone, well, you have about 3 or 4 more years to fulfill your purpose, what do you think that means? Or if I tell I'll tell you a different way. What if I tell someone you have 25 years to fulfill your purpose, as opposed to someone who only has 3 or 4 years to fulfill their purpose? What do you think the difference is that? What's the hidden message in there that I'm trying to tell them? Well, you have 3 or 4 more years. Or you have 25
Get
years.
off their ass and get to work.
Well, you better get up your ass and get to work, in 3 or 4 more years. Because if I say someone, you only have 3 or 4 more years to fulfill your purpose, that's all the time you have here. I don't go into those specifics. I'm hoping that they figure it out. But it's up to them to figure it out. Also, during the man, my throat's coming. During the video, if you can, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video for me if you can, and if you can, share the video any way you can. You can, if you want to go to your Facebook page, you can copy and paste this video into your Facebook page, so it'll show up in your Facebook page, or anywhere else. Other social media would be great. That way, it gets it out there that I'm doing the video, and gives other people an opportunity to come in. Because if they see it live on Facebook, they can click on it and come into the video. So I want to try to get, because I wanted that's the reason why I'm doing videos, especially here, the live one, and then doing the Patreon videos, because there's a message that needs to be brought, and I'm going to bring it as much as I can, but I'm trying to bring it to as many people as I can. So I would deeply appreciate it if you could help me do that by sharing this video and liking the video. The more likes I get for videos, it's easier for me to make these videos. So like I said, so the ancestry part, not important. Your ancestry, not important. It's not about your ancestors. It's about you. Your ancestors did their job, getting married and having children each time, and here you are. But it's about you and what you do here. It's about what you do now in your lives, and doing the best you can, like us, to help other people. It's okay to enjoy your life while you're here, because there's many perks to doing that. I was just out riding my bike a little while ago. It was nice out about 2 o'clock, and by 3 o'clock it got super cold, and I was back at the house. But I got a chance to go out and do that. But who knows when I'm going to get a chance to go out and do that again. But in the midst of doing that, just a couple of days ago, I was at Walmart picking up some medicine. And I bumped into somebody there who was asking me about my Jeep and asked me about what on the back of my Jeep, it says Spirit Medium Daniel. And she asked me about that. And I talked to her about it and had a nice little talk. And she said, yeah, that's exactly what the type of stuff I'm into. I'm just trying to find somebody who can show me that stuff. I said, well, I'm your guy. So hopefully I'll hear from her. Deborah said, yes, I did. You did what? Thank you, Aunt Joanne. Oh, she's thanking her aunt, previous aunt. So, ancestry, yeah, done with that one. I did my very first video I did on Patreon was called Cemeteries at Night. The reason I did that video was to show people you can go to cemeteries at night, but you can also go there during the day. And how many people have said, well, I'll go to a cemetery during the day, but I don't want to go at nighttime. Well, why not? Well, because it creeps me out. How many spirit do you think that are there at nighttime that weren't there during the daytime? If they're there at nighttime, they were probably there during the daytime. Why? Because to them, there's no space and time. So when they're visiting here on Earth, it's just the light changing. That's all for them. But they see us differently. They don't see things the way we see things. So there's no space and time there. So if they're hanging out there during the daytime or at nighttime, vice versa, there's nothing. It's going to be there even more. We have been conditioned, and we have been taught that things, because you're there with no light or low light, it's going to be creepier because if you hear a noise in your house, you can turn around and see, oh, maybe that was the dog or the cat. But if it's dark and you can't see anything, it freaks people out. Doesn't freak me out. I hear so many noises at home.
Noises.
Yeah.
Things.
I noises. I see things.
We both see things.
Yeah, both my wife sees things just like I do. Not as much as I do. She sees a lot of things. But we see a lot of things. We hear a lot of things. Sometimes we hear the sound of voices or music. It sounds like there's a radio playing in the house when there's no radio turned on in the house. Or we see purple and orange and red swirls, things swirling around the house. My two of my cats were in the kitchen a couple of weeks ago, and they're staring up the ceiling. My wife said, I wonder what they're looking at. And I walked out there, and as soon as I walked out there, I saw a spirit of another cat up on the ceiling, and that's what they were looking at, because animals can see everything that I do. So
somebody new, Pyrography Dave says hello.
Who? Hello, Dave. Pyrography. Pyrography. Are you setting things on fire?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, we set things on fire on New Year's Eve. That was fun.
Fireworks.
So you can go to a cemetery during the nighttime, during the daytime. You're not going to see anything any more creepy there at nighttime than you would during the daytime. You just may see them more at nighttime because their energy glows more at nighttime, and you may see something more than you would see it in the daytime. I see things day and night. It doesn't change for me. But you may see something more in the nighttime, because that's what, like I said, their energy, what is inside of you, your soul, is a bright white light. Same thing with them. And you may see that energy come because it's dark out and their energy is so bright. You may see that there in the cemetery. But is it something to be afraid of? Not one bit. They're just people, or they're just animals. That's all they are. There are negative ones. There are negative energies that are earthbound. There are no negative energies that cross over into the light. The ones that do cross over into the light, when they do come back here and visit, they look like regular people. So much so, I will give you a tidbit of information not everybody knows. It's a little medium secret. When you go out into public, well, let me backtrack. Some spirit can come through. They can materialize as themselves the way they look, full on energy, but they have to be in heaven for a long period of time to have enough energy to do that. But they can come through here and materialize. And you could be in a crowd of people. There could be 50 people in this crowd that you're in, and you look at them, and one of them may just happen to turn around and smile at you. And then the next thing you know, you turn back around and they're gone. And it may have been a spirit. They can materialize and they can come through full on looking like they do and then disappear and they're gone. They do that more than you would think, or more than you realize, because they just like to come back and visit. The ones who come back are a little bit see-through-y looking. You can see through them. Or like I said, in the cemeteries, when you see the bright white light energy, those are the ones who haven't crossed over. They are more see-through. When I see them at night, they are blue, because that's what the color of energy is. Unless you are crossed over, then you are a whitish light or your natural color when they come through and visit. But the ones who are earthbound spirits, they're blue. It's like looking at someone with what's called a black and white tattoo, where the black ink takes up the picture on your skin, but the rest of your skin makes up the rest of the picture. Well, that's what they look like, except they are blue. In complete darkness. But they can come through a little bit whitish and see-through, like a misty see-through whitish. They come through all the time. They can come through into this realm. That's what they're doing. They're moving from realm to realm. So it's the same thing with, like I said, with the ones who have crossed over into heaven. Man, my throat's really bugging me. Anyway, so you can see them more than you think you will. You're just not noticing or paying attention to it. So pay attention to it. But going into the cemeteries, if you hear a noise, how many of you hear a creaking in the house? You hear something go crack, snap, pop. I mean, you think it's always just the wood in the floor? I go into my bedroom and go to sleep, try to, and lay down. The TV starts popping and cracking and making noises when I didn't even have the TV on. There's things clicking and popping and snapping in the room. They're pure energy. They can do that. They come through all the time. And sometimes it's just they either want to be seen or they want to be heard. They want to be acknowledged, is what it comes down to. Because there are spirit everywhere you go. No matter where you go, no matter what you do, there are spirit around you. I watched some guy on YouTube the other day say to other people, he did this interview. He said, spirit is around you all the time. But somebody said, well, what if you go to the bathroom? Oh, well, they take a break from you and they walk away. No, they don't. This guy was so freaking full of shit. He didn't know what he was talking about. Spirit does not take a break from you when you're going to the bathroom. Spirit is just there. How do I know that? Because I was going to the bathroom one time, because I'm a man standing up going to the bathroom, and when I'm looking down into the toilet, I saw a person's face. So it looked like I'm urinating into their face. But I'm not actually urinating into their face. It's just they're just there. That's where they are. So it's not affecting them because they are in spirit now. So it just, they walk through walls, they walk through ceilings, they walk through floors. They're not doing it intentionally, walking through a wall. They're just walking. A wall just happens to be there, and it's not even in their way. So they're just going right through it. But they're not taking a break from you when you're in the bathroom, because all those spirit is watching everything you do, it's not a matter to them anymore because they don't have to do it anymore. They don't go to the bathroom. They don't eat. They don't sleep. They just hang out. They're completely awake all the time, just chilling. That's it. They're just chilling. They're not worried about what you're doing because they don't have to do it anymore. They're happy about it. They look at us and going to the bathroom and sitting on the toilet and they're just laughing because they know they don't have to do it anymore. So going to cemeteries, you may encounter more at the cemeteries, or you may encounter more at a hospital or prisons and stuff like that, because some of them just like to hang out at these places because they know they're going to get a lot of people come in there. So they know if a lot of people are going to come in, we can show off for a lot of people because it gives them something to do. Because let me tell you, the ones who haven't crossed over, where they are in earthbound spirit, there's absolutely nothing going on there. It's just them walking around. That's it. Looking at each other, bumping into each other. Although they are, I see a lot of them making out. They're kissing each other and holding each other and hugging and looking at each other's eyes and doing all sorts of things. But that's it. There's nothing else to do. You can't ride motorcycles and bikes and cars and go to the movies. And I mean, you could sit in and watch a movie, but they see things differently. They don't see them like we see them. So they're just there. There's not much else to do. Whereas if you cross over into the light, there's a lot to do. But you have to be able to let go of all your pain and anger and sorrow and grief and guilt and anguish and all that mess too in order to cross over. You don't hold any grudges. People ask me that all the time during readings. You know, I had an argument with my father. Does you think he forgives me? They let all that go. They don't hold on to that stuff. Only we carry that stuff. We carry it around like baggage here, but that's what we call it, baggage. But we're the only ones that hold on to that mess. They don't hold on to that mess. The only ones that hold on to that mess are the ones who haven't crossed over. And they continue to worry about stuff that doesn't even involve them anymore, but they continue to hold on to it where they are. So I recommend not going to the haunted houses as an attraction. I don't recommend going there. The reason being is because a lot of those haunted houses have negative energies that hang out there, and they're just looking and waiting for someone to come there who's had a bad day or a bad week or a bad year and looking to find someone to attach themselves to. Man, I don't know why my throat's so.
I don't know. You were outside today.
Yeah. But when they attach themselves to you, then you got a big problem. But the people who have someone attached to them is 9 times out of 10 already a negative person. They may say they aren't, but they are. And that negative energy will draw negative energy off of you, but continuously give you some negative energy too to keep you as a negative person, so they continually draw that energy off you. I call them negative energy vampires. They don't want to kill you. They don't want to make your head spin around and spit out pea soup and all that stuff. And that's possession. That doesn't happen. That happens in the movies. For one thing, to make good money and ratings, that's all. But they want you to be alive in order to draw your energy off you. So do you want that? Do you want to take that home with you? I don't know anybody who wants to take that home with you. Even if you've had a bad day and you can't let it go, one of these things may follow you home. And it won't attach itself to you, but it may follow you home and stay with you a while, hoping and egging you on to remain negative so it can attach itself to you. because negative energy can only attach itself to another negative energy. Remember that. So don't go to the haunted houses, the haunted walks, all that stuff. Don't play with a freaking Ouija board, because when you do that, the people who created Ouija boards were negative people. They want that because that pulls negative energies out of that realm and into this realm, and then attaching it to people that just leave the Ouija boards alone, okay? Because it's just not a good idea. All right, the next video we did, well, that was negative energy. Negative energies are red. That's exactly what color they are. If you're ever walking around and you feel like something's heavy on your shoulders, I need a cough drop. Can you get me a cough drop?
A Ricola?
Yeah. If you feel something heavy on your shoulders, a weight on your shoulders, and you've been having a bad day, I mean, the best you can do is try to let it go. Try to let those feelings go and think of good things, because spilling your coffee or having a bad day at work is not the end of the freaking world. It's just not. You'll get over it. Let it go, move on, you know? Same thing with having negative people around you. You know, you go to work and you have negative people around you. You go home, they aren't around you anymore, but you carry that negative home with you because you just can't let it go. Let it go. It's not important. It's not part of your life. we have to learn to let these things go, and you can let it go if you want to. If you want to walk around being a miserable person and you can't stand the world, that's on you. You have the opportunity to let that go by just letting it go and stopping it. The only person that's going to make it go away is you. Just like I put the reference out there all the time. If you're an alcoholic, I can talk to you about stopping being an alcoholic and maybe help you to go some classes or something like that. But the only person who's going to put that drink down and stop drinking is you. It's the same thing with your negative feelings. The only person who's going to make them go away, you can take medication for it. But that's a thought process. Medication is going to put a Band-Aid on it. It's only going to go away until you stop thinking those things and stop letting them control your life. That's it. Pretty simple. Could personal beliefs keep one from experiencing the supernatural, or can anyone, or is this just gifted? Dave wants to know. So Dave wants to know what I have. Is that a gift? Are you born with it? Yes. Is everyone born with it? Yes. But not everyone keeps it. The reason why you don't keep it, Dave, is because we are taught everything about the world from everybody in the world to not believe in it. We are taught about all the crap in the world. We are taught pain and anger, sorrow, grief, and guilt. And you are taught to have all this negativity into your body, and you allow it into your body. And once you do that, the gift goes away.
Well, plus you're taught this is evil, it's bad,
Yeah.
it's of the devil. So
Right, you're taught it's a bad thing. I think if you look it up on page 4 or page 6, something like that in the Bible, it tells you not to trust mediums like me. It says that we are
suffer not a witch to live.
What's that?
Suffer not a witch to live is one of the things in the Bible.
Yeah, it says something about you can't trust us, we're criminals, all this other stuff, because we speak with spirit, because they say you're not allowed to speak with spirit. But the problem I have with that is one of the main parts of the Bible: Father, Son, and Holy Ghost. Who's the Holy Ghost? And who's talking to the Holy Ghost? So you mean they talk to a Holy Ghost? I talk to ghosts. but they're not Holy Ghosts. They're just ghosts, but they are Holy Ghosts. Everyone is a Holy Ghost because you come from God. I come from God. So that's one thing I want you to know, Dave. I'm not religious. I'm spiritual. But yes, I do believe in God. I don't just believe in God. There's God and there is Jesus. What there is also is a Bible, but that thing is a book of bullshit. That is a book of lies and deception telling you how to live your life the way they want you to live it. That's what that is. And it's a bunch of stories. Stories after stories after stories written by men. Was not written by God, was not written by the inspiration of God, was not written by, hey, God told someone to write this down, because God did not tell anyone to write anything down. Those people wrote those things down to do one thing, to have power and control over you and everyone else who will listen to their bullshit. But is this a gift per se? It is, but yes, you are absolutely born with it. And if it comes through, it keeps coming through in your life. The reason it keeps coming through in your life, and you have these instances where you're seeing a lot more spirit than other people, or you're hearing spirit, or you feel spirit, and they're coming up and touching you, and it's because you haven't accepted it yet, and that's what you need to do if you're having that happen. That's what happened. That's the way it happened with me. I saw spirit my entire life. My whole family did. We just thought we were seeing ghosts in the house, but we lived in a house that was near a battlefield from the 1700s, and so everybody in the neighborhood had ghosts in their house. Ricola! And so we all saw this stuff. But then we moved. My mom and dad and I and my brother, we moved to another house in Delaware, right across town. And I continued to see things. And then the next house I left after that, when I met this woman, got married, I went to her house and I saw things at her house. And then we moved out of there, bought our own house, had a house built on some land, and I was seeing things at that house. Then that marriage didn't work out. I left, went back to my mom's house. My dad had passed away and was still seeing more things at that house. We moved out of there because my mom got too sick to take care of herself, and I couldn't do it either. I had a couple back surgeries. My sister moved down here. We moved into another house, and we all moved in there. And I was seeing things at that house. And then I moved out of there because I met my wife. We moved in together. She bought this house. We moved in together. I was seeing all kinds of stuff here. And then the next thing you know, right before my 50th birthday, I was seeing things all the time. It was good. It was driving me crazy. It was driving her crazy because I was seeing so much. It was driving her crazy. She was seeing some stuff too, but I was seeing, green skulls and mist come out of the walls and all kinds of crazy stuff. So we went and looked up some different people and places to find out, just to try to get some help. We had a paranormal team come here, and they got so much information that scared the shit out of them. And we witnessed all that stuff too. It was pretty amazing. But through it all, I didn't want to know why I knew I had spirit in my house. I just didn't know why. So we went to some mediums, and I went to different mediums, and I found out through all the mediums, they all told me the same story about me, and none of them knew each other, which was cool. And that's how I found out I was a medium. But being a medium and accepting it are two different things. And that's what one of them told me. I had to accept it. Once I accepted it, things would change. And she was right. So I went home and I sat down and had a talk with God in a dark room. I had to talk with God and said, I accept this. This is what I want to do because I know this is a part of me. I don't want this to go away. The moment I accepted it, man, everything changed. The very next day, instead of the skulls, I was seeing still some, but less. But I was seeing more of just regular stuff. And then after my first year of being this, everything changed after that again. Seems like every year. And now it's been almost 4 years now. And stuff happens to me every day, every other day. So much stuff. And I found a way through all this in this path, in this journey, to communicate with them. I see spirit all the time. They communicate with me. I hear them. I see them. I feel them. I smell them. What do I mean by smell is I have certain spirits that come when my dad comes through to visit me. I can smell his cologne. When my grandfather comes through, my grandfather used to eat peppermints all the time. I smell peppermint. I've smelled leather. I've smelled flowers. I've smelled all kinds of things. I'm in the middle of when I was working. I used to work in prison for 6 years. Why would I be in my office all the way in the back, right across the hallway from all the inmates, and all of a sudden I smell leather? Or all of a sudden I smell peppermint. And just, I don't know, it's just like, whoa, where did that come from? Because nobody has peppermints in prison. They just don't. They got a lot of peanut butter, but that's different. And that's the way it came on for me. But the way it came on for me is different in the way that it comes on for other people. If you're experiencing these things, if you're having some unexplained things, let me know about them. I'll get my wife to type my email address in the comments section.
Yep, I did, but I'll do it again.
And if you're having these types of things go on in your life, we can sit and talk about it, and I can try to help you figure it out. Because one thing I don't want people to do is I don't want them to be scared of what's going on around them, because it's nothing to be scared of. There's ways to take care of those things, and you can be protected from these negative energies that are around you.
Yeah, Dave says he's a newly discovered empath. So I gave him a link to Dr. Judy Orloff. She's a renowned empath author, and she's very good. Her books are phenomenal. If you can mention my blog.
My wife is an empath, a very strong empath. I'm empathic, but not as much as my wife is. I have a webpage, Dave. I'll have my wife put the webpage up. It's www.spiritmediumdaniel.com, and I do a blog on there. But my wife also does a blog on there as a life being an empath. You can also contact her, and she can talk to you about it. I know what it means. You're about to walk into a building, and just before you open that door, you can feel everybody's feelings and their energy that's going on when you're about to walk in that door. And you walk in, and it just feels like somebody dumped a bucket of mud on top of you, and it's all their feelings. And it's like mud because you can't get it off of you, and it's like walking into a room with people who are smoking, and you walk out and you smell like smoke and you can't get it off of you. And it's hard to get it off of you to the point where when you get home, you're exhausted. Yeah, you can't.
Physically, emotionally, mentally.
Their feelings drain your feelings. And then sometimes their feelings turn into your feelings. And you wonder why at the end of the day, you're so angry. Or crying or something, because you took on somebody else's feelings and you can't get rid of them. but you have to learn to get rid of them. You have to learn to block. You have to learn to ground yourself. So reading these books that my wife mentioned, or looking at this woman who writes the books, or reading what my wife does in her blog, or even talking to her, can help you figure these things out. It's just, it can be super duper overwhelming at first, but after a while, when you get it figured out,
It's liberating.
yeah, it's liberating.
Yeah.
You can talk to people and they'll be able to relate with you because you already understand their feelings. So it's a pretty good gift to have. Dave said he's studying everything now.
Good. That's the
Good.
way to do it.
That's the way to do it. Look it up online. Even though I've been doing this mediumship for 4 years, it's still sometimes very overwhelming to me because I see things. We had some friends over here the other night, 2 of them who are both mediums. And I have yet to meet another medium that sees everything that I do. I just haven't met anyone who sees all the things that I do. And people ask me, what do you see when I'm in a dark room? If you've ever seen the movie Avatar, those colors when they're on the planet and you see all the, and I see this one little string of lights that looks like a letter Y over here and one over here. I don't know what they are, and I don't know where they are. I'm told they are not in our galaxy. They're telling me I'm doing that because they're touching me right now. But all the other stars, I can't see them. I stopped seeing stars over 2 years ago. So that's part of my gift that I had to learn to accept. Because when you say, I accept my gift, you don't realize how much you're accepting. Because your gift changes all the time. So part of my gift is I don't see the stars anymore. That's okay. I saw them for 50 years. I don't see anymore. What I do see when I look up in the sky is blackness and blue. And the blue that I see is energy. That's what I see. And that energy is people. When I look up in the sky, I start seeing people's faces. We go for a walk around the block at nighttime. I come around the block and I see 8 or 9 spirits standing in somebody's yard, just standing there. And they're all turned around looking, staring at me. Because what they see is not like what you see on the camera. You see me, and they see a super bright white light that looks like the sun because they think I'm the light into heaven. Fortunately for them, I am. So that's also part of my gift. I cross spirit over into the light. That's one of my other gifts. I have a bunch of different gifts. All makes one gift, but I have different parts. And I keep finding out new parts all the time. See what else we're going to talk about. Intuition. Well, let's talk about spirit animals and spirit guides. Spirit animals and spirit guides. We all have spirit guides. Everyone has spirit guides. Everyone starts out with 2. You'll hear the terms. People will say, well, I have a guardian angel with me. No, you don't. The only time you actually have an angel with you is if you are performing a specific task that God wants you to do, like what I'm doing. I cross spirit over into the light. So I have angels with me who protect me from negative energies. Or if I was doing something else, like with the mediumship, same thing. All the angels that I have around me, there are different types of angels. We found out by doing, I can channel. I can sit with other mediums and sit across from them, hold their hands, and a message comes through from them, through me. I'm the conduit to that person. I don't know what the message is going to be, and I start talking. But we found out by doing that with some of the mediums that all the angels that are with me are not just regular angels, they're archangels. Because there are what's called archangels, and there's what's called lesser angels. And who calls them lesser angels? Not me. The archangels call them lesser angels. We would just think of them as being angels. We think all the angels are the same. They're not. The reason they're called lesser angels is because they just have less responsibility. They're not privy to the same information that the archangels are. The archangels are the right hand of God, and they get God information. Even regular angels don't get God information. It's kind of strange. After lesser angels, you have spirit guides, and then you have spirit, then you have us, and then you have the low level negative energies. And they're not even attached to bodies, and they're lower than us, which is strange. But they're not attached to heaven, so that's why they don't have so much information. So your spirit guides, everyone has two. You have a male and a female. One for the more nurturing side and one for the more dominant side of this. And they help you with decisions that you make. Every thought that's going through your brain, every moment of the day, there's a decision that's being made with those thoughts. So what you're going to do with that thought. Am I going to go left? Am I going to go right? Am I going to go forward? Am I going to go backward? Am I going to go to the mall? Am I going to go get some pizza? Am I going to go to the beach? Am I going to hang out with my friends? Am I going to watch this kid? This kid just shit himself. Now I got to change his diaper. How do I change a diaper? Everything you do, they're helping you to make these decisions in your life. It just depends upon if you listen and if you follow through with what they tell you to do. And if you listen and follow through what they tell you to do, you'll stay on the correct path in your life. And if you don't listen and you talk yourself out of everything, or let your ego get involved, then you'll be on the alternative path. And the alternative path will land you into heaven and then back here again. Because if you're on the alternative path, that means you're doing everything that's all about you and you are not fulfilling your purpose. So as I advise everyone, do what they ask you to do, follow through with it, and you'll stay on the correct path. You'll fulfill your purpose. You won't have to come back. Spirit guides, they will help you. And then you'll also have other guides come in who are spirit guides to help you in particular times in your life when you need them for different things. I had a guy who I did a reading for, and he wanted to become two different jobs. He asked me about becoming a mechanic and or a social worker. I told him he could be in social worker, and that was fine. But his heart was going to be in auto mechanics. And then when I held his hand, I saw a gentleman come in, and I described him to him. He said, "That's my brother." I said, "Your brother's here as a spirit guide for you for the auto mechanics. So he wants you to do the auto mechanics. This is what you're supposed to do in your life." And at the end of the reading, he told me, "I want to let you know I'm already a social worker." I said, "Yeah, I know, but that's okay. But you're supposed to be the auto mechanic." He said, "I applied for auto mechanics." He said, "But they said I probably wouldn't get into the class because I applied too late." I said, "When you get out of this reading, I want you to go home and call them. Call them today. Make sure you call them today. Not any tomorrow or not any other time. Call them today. When you get done, give me a call back." And he left the reading, and he called them, and he called me back and told me I got accepted into the class. And he said, "They told me that I had a chance to call them today. If I didn't call them today, they were going to skip me and go on to the next person." And I said, "I can't make this shit up, Jeff." And he said, "Oh, yeah, that's right. You told me that to call them today." I said, "Yeah." So that's part of following through. Now I gave him what he needed to know to follow through. So you follow through with what they tell you to do, and you move forward. Spirit animals are here, and they show you protection throughout your life in different ways. They will help you with that. Again, you look them when you find out what your spirit animals are. If you've had a reading with me, I would let you know, or anyone else. You can look them up, and you can read what they're there for you to do. I had a woman back in January I did a reading for, and she was a tough one. she said, "What do you see?" I said, "I see a horse in front of you." "A horse?" she said. I said, "Yeah, it's in front of you, but it keeps walking back and forth, going in front of you and then backing up in front of you." Well, she said, "What do you think that means?" I said, "The horse tells me that you've put a wall in front of yourself and you won't let anybody into your life. You won't let them help you. You won't let them do anything for you." She said, "Well, yeah." I said, "You got to take that wall down because you don't trust anybody." She said, "How do you know that?" I said, "Because that's what the horse is telling me. You won't trust anybody. You're putting this wall up, and how do you expect to get anywhere in this world if you don't let some people trust you?" She said, "Well, I had a lot of stuff happen to me when I was younger." I said, "Well, you got to let that go because you're not younger anymore." She said, "It happened when I was 16." I said, "Yeah, you're 34 now. You got to let that go. You're not 16 anymore. You learned from all that. Move on. You got to break this wall down because if you don't, you're not going to get where you want to be." And she said, "Well, I'm looking for a new job." I said, "What kind of job are you looking for?" She said, "Oh, I don't know. I can do any job." I said, "Well, how about you just pick 2 jobs and I'll let you know if you're supposed to do either of those. And if that doesn't work, we'll pick a couple more." I said, "Is there 2 jobs you think you could do?" She kept saying, "There's 100 jobs I could do." I said, "Well, pick 2." "I can't pick 2. There's 100 I could do." And I said, "Exactly." She said, "Exactly what?" I said, "You won't bring the wall down. You won't let me help you. Do you not understand what I'm even saying here? You have a wall in front of you. You won't let it go. You won't bring it down. You won't trust anyone. You won't even trust me, the medium, who's trying to help you with spirit, because spirit is trying to help you, and you won't even let them in to help you. So you're not going to get anywhere in life." And that's about it. She says, "I understand what you're trying to say, Daniel. I'm sorry." I said, "No, you don't understand." Yeah, I said, "You get it. You comprehend it, but you don't understand. If you don't let this go." And she kept resisting me so much. I said, "You know what?" I went out to the front. I told my wife, I said, "Give her money back." I said, "Because I can't help her." I said, "No one can help her." And I so badly wanted to, her boyfriend was, I said, I so badly wanted to say, "Hey, buddy, you know what? I feel sorry for you because you got to put up with this crazy chick because there's nothing you're ever going to do that's going to satisfy her." And he was a big guy, kind of an oaf guy, kind of like just sitting there like quiet in his face. But no one can make her happy. The only person who can make her happy, the only person who can make you happy is you. Enabling yourself to move forward, that's up to you. You have to be able to make yourself move forward. There's an old saying, we all know it. God helps those who help themselves. If you're not going to do anything for yourself, he's not going to do it all for you. He put you here in order to do these things, in order to find these things out, in order to experience things, to learn things. He didn't send you here so you could sit on the couch with your thumb up your ass all damn day long. Because I guarantee if you're doing that, when you leave here, you're coming back. And you will continue to do it over and over and over again until you learn to do it right. I'm not upset about that because it's you. You got to go through it, not me. Going through my life, going through my journey. I'm okay. But you out there, you have to learn to do things for yourself because no one else is going to do them for you. And if they do them for you, you don't learn anything from it and you don't learn to appreciate it. And you will let them do it so much, you'll always just let them do it. I guarantee you, you'll come back. You'll get to heaven and they'll say, "Boy, did you screw that up. Sorry, but you got to go back." And that's it. And you'll be like, "Oh, okay, no problem. I'll try it again." Because you want to do good things as a soul. But then you get back here again, you start getting into your teenage years and go, "Man, Life isn't easy. Life was not meant to be easy. If it was meant to be easy, what would be the point? Our next video, we did intuition, same thing. Intuition. What is intuition? It's those gut feelings that you get that this is the right thing to do, or this is not the right thing to do, or the goosebumps that say, this is really cool. I just burped, excuse me. Anyway, you get these gut feelings. You know things. This I know I should be going down this road, or I know I should be going there. Or there's a meeting at work that I know I should be involved with. I got to go in there. And you just walk in. They go, "What are you doing here?" Then you find out you actually should be there. That's your intuition. But it's following it. That's the hard part. Again, a lot of people don't want to do that because your intuition is your soul connecting with you, letting you know that these are the things to do. These are the things you need in your life.
Can you tell the bicycle story?
So my wife wants me to, again, tell the bicycle story. So
it's the best thing ever.
The best thing ever. Yes, it is. So my wife and I go to thrift shops. We go thrifting a lot because we like to. It's fun. You never know what you're going to find. Somebody else's garbage is usually somebody else's garbage, but sometimes there's some treasures out there. So we went to a pawn shop, and my wife was looking at a bicycle. I had a little basket on the front. She was like, "I want to get a bike because I want to start riding a bike." I said, "Yeah, me too." So she looks around. She finds this bike, and she likes it. She takes it for a ride, and the guy says, "Well, if you buy it today, I'll take another $5 off the price. It was $75, and she bought it for $70. It's a nice bike, a nice Huffy. And I said, as we get out in the parking lot, I'm going to buy a bike too, but just like this, I don't want to pay a lot of money for it. But I want to find a blue one because I love everything blue. As you see behind me, blue screen, talking into a microphone, it's blue, mouse pad, blue, motorcycle, blue. So I looked online, went on eBay or Facebook Marketplace, and saw this one cool bike that had some ape hangers on it, these cool aluminum wheels that look like a motorcycle, black with this cool blue stripe on it, looked like a gas tank. Really cool looking, but it was $200, and you could buy it in Walmart for $200. It was $250. It was on sale for $200. I didn't want to pay $200 for a bike. I was looking for the $50 bike. It was blue. So I found one at Walmart, and our Walmart here in Milford. And so we went there. I was going to visit my mom that day. So we took $200 with us out of the bank to buy some groceries, and we're going to buy a bike. We bought $100 exactly in groceries. Looked through the Walmart. There was no blue bike. So we left there and went up to the Camden, Wyoming Walmart. And my wife looked it up and said, "There's a blue bike here." So we walked in, and there was no blue bike. There was a tag for a blue bike, but it was on the red bike. I don't want the freaking red bike. So I said, "Well, let's go see my mom. We'll go there, and then after that, we'll go to the other one in Cheswold." We get to go see my mom. We get done. She's like, "All right, let's go to Cheswold." I was like, "I don't feel like it." She said, "We got to go to Cheswold." I said, "I don't know, honey. I'm just kind of tired." She said, "We got to go." She said, "Something is telling me inside we have to go to the Cheswold Walmart." I said, "Okay, we'll go."
It was overwhelming.
Overwhelming to her. So we drive up to Cheswold. We walk in. We're walking through. And I see that cool bike, the one with the ape hanger bars on it, and sitting in the middle of the aisle, not even in the bike aisle, just sitting in the middle of the aisle. And I run down, or sort of, because I can't run. I hobble down because I'm an old fart. And I get down there and I jump on the bike and I start riding it around. I'm yay, wee, feeling like I'm 7 years old. And my wife comes over. She says, "Do you really want the bike?" I said, "I do." She said, "All right, we'll buy the bike." But there's no tag on the bike. So we take it up to the counter and I said, "Look," I said, "I want to buy this bike." She says, "All right." I said, "There's no tag on it." She says, "All right, let me find somebody. We'll do this for you." My wife says, "Let's go get a helmet." I said, "Oh yeah, we got to get a helmet." I said, "You know what'd be cool, honey, if we found a helmet that had some spikes on it, looked like a mohawk, spikes on it." And she says, "You mean like this?" And pulls up the helmet. But it was red. I said, "Do they have a black one?" She said, "Yeah, here's a black one." I said, "Holy shit. $25, we bought the helmet. We bring it up to the counter." They're checking out the bike. She takes the gun. She zaps the gun on the bike. Zap, ding. She looks at me and she says, "That'll be $49, sir." And I said, "What?" She looked at me with this face and I was like, and I'm looking at her and I'm looking back at my wife like, "What?" And my wife's looking at me and I'm looking at her and she's looking at me. I'm trying to figure out what the hell's going on. And she said, "It's $49, sir. Do you want the bike or not?" And I was like, I said, "Yeah, I want the bike." And I had the money in my pocket. I couldn't get the money out of my pocket fast enough. I was trying to get the money out because I have horrible grip. I'm trying to get it out, pull out the money. Here's the money, $49 plus the $25 for it was like whatever, 80 something dollars. Here you go. I couldn't get it out fast enough. She tags it up. "Here you go, sir." Rolls the bike around to me. I'm like looking at it. I'm like, holy shit. She gives me a receipt. I'm trying to figure out what the fuck, because we know the bike is $200. And we're freaking out. And we're trying to get out of the store. So we get the bike and we're rolling out of the store and people come up to me going, "Hey, that's a really cool bike. Wow, look at that bike. It's really cool." And we're going, "Yeah, well, yeah." And then my wife says to me, it's kind of like, the IKEA store commercial where they say, "Get in the car, get in the car,
Start the car.
start the car, get in the car, get out of here. We got to get out of here." Because we can't believe that this bike cost us $49. We get out the parking lot. I pull out the receipt again. I'm looking at the receipt. It says $49 on it. I can't get the bike fast enough into the back of my wife's car. She gets it, helps me, gets it in the back of the car. We're basically squealing, get the hell out of the parking lot.
Feeling like we were stealing.
Like we were stealing. And we get home and I pull the receipt out and I go online and I look up that Walmart and the bike was there in their stock. They only had one and they said it was $200. And I looked at the receipt and we bought it for $49. And the only reason we bought it for $49 is because my wife told me we have to go to that Walmart. Had to go. We have to go. Because something's telling me we got to go there, got to go now, got to get it now. We're going to get something there and it'll be there.
Yeah, because you didn't want to go.
I didn't want to go. And she said, "We're going." So I went. Had we not paid attention to her signs that she was getting, to her intuition telling her this is what we got to do, I would have found some other $50 bike
And not have been happy.
and not have been happy. But I mean, I would have been happy, but
It wouldn't have been the bike.
yeah, it would have been the bike. And we found the bike. And the price tags online, every time I still look at it, is $200. And we got it for $49. Now, I don't know if somebody got fired over that deal, but I got a bike for $49. Didn't steal it. I paid what they said.
Yeah.
That's it. When you start listening to yourself, when you start paying attention to your intuition, when you listen to your spirit guides and do what they ask you to do, and you follow through with it, those kinds of things will happen. And they will start to happen so often, you won't even question them anymore. It'll become second nature to you because you'll just be used to good things happening to you. But the only way those good things are going to happen to you is if you listen to your heart, listen to your intuition, listen and follow through with what your spirit guides tell you to do. They put you on the correct path. They will help you. They will ease you through your life the best they can for you. They're not here to fix your life. If you have fucked up your life, that's for you to fix. And they'll try to help you do that too. But they're not going to do it for you. Yes?
I updated my Married to a Medium about that exact thing because when we were videoing,
Yes.
popped into my head, Spirit Mediums, the ultimate life coach.
There you go. That's me, baby. Ultimate life coach. Bada bing, bada boom.
Because if we listen to them, should I type this?
Yep.
Yeah.
My wife's going to type it in instead of talking from behind the camera. Ricola. It's helping me feel better. So, when your spirit guides tell you to do something, follow through with it. When you wake up in the morning and you make a decision to go somewhere and do something, follow through with it. When you talk yourself out of it, that's something the world taught you to do, because the world wants you to think that you're not good enough to do it. You are enough to do anything and everything that you want to do. You just have to be confident enough to do that. Talk yourself into doing things. I just put some new speakers into my car today. When I got them, I thought, man, I'm not good with electrical stuff. Let me talk to my brother about it. He's coming down. He said, why can't you just do it yourself? I said, I'm not really good with electrical. He said, well, what did it come with? I said, it came with all the parts and all these connectors and all this stuff. You connect it all up, and then all you do is unscrew them, take them out, unclick the little connector, put the new connector in, put it back in, screw it in. He said, so what's wrong with that? I said, you're right. So today, this morning, I undid the screws, and then my wife helped me undo some of the screws because I have horrible grip, and pop out the covers, pop the connectors off, took the speakers out, popped the new connectors on. I cut my finger the other day, putting one of them on because it was so sharp, but connected them, put the speakers back in, screwed everything back up. Sounds even better than it did. It had a real bottom end and mid sound. There was no high end in my speakers. The speakers didn't have any tweeters in them. These ones do. When you saw the magnet on the old speakers, it was like this big around. The new magnets are like this big around. So took maybe half hour?
Yeah.
4 speakers, put them in.
And then you were in there for another half hour listening.
Yeah, and I was in there listening to the music because it sounded good. But I woke up this morning with a task and went through with it, and no problems whatsoever. It just happened because I followed through with it. And that's what we have to do. Follow through with it the best we can. No one is going to be perfect in this. No one. We can only do the best we can do. But we can do the best if we try to do the best. And everyone here can try. But you have to want to try. Just like going into heaven. If you're here now, it's because you've been to heaven before. You were just sent back because you didn't fulfill your purpose. You can go to heaven again if you want to. You just have to want to go. That's it. When it's your time to go, you'll know. But in order for you to accomplish things, you're going to have to do them yourself. You can't let everybody do them for you because you don't appreciate them. You don't learn anything from them. Since doing those 4 speakers, now I don't have any issues about wanting to do these 2 other speakers in the back. I just have to find speakers that are going to fit. I was looking them up earlier before I got online here, and it's hard finding them. So all I got to do is find them and then order the connectors, and then I'll be in like Flynn, and I'll be done. Another 20-minute job. Something that I thought I was going to have to take to a car audio place. It was going to cost me, $200 for the speakers and $300 to get them put in, $500 total. Where it cost me total of $150 for the speakers and connectors and all that stuff and the tools that I had to buy, and 20 minutes of our time. You can do these things for yourselves. There's a lot of things out there you can do for yourself, but you have to want to do them. You have to have the gumption to do that. So get up, wake up, and get the gumption and do it. Instead of talking yourself out of it, talk yourself into it. Give yourself confidence. You are enough. Everyone in this world is enough. Don't let the world tell you you're not. They want you to be that way because they want to be able to control you and have power over you.
Get rid of all that ego.
Yep, get rid of all that ego crap. Doesn't help you. Death. What does death really mean?
You want to find out?
You're going to find out because you're all going to die. Everybody who's in here, I got news for you.
Nobody gets out of this alive.
Nobody. You're all going to die. You're all going to die, 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 die. Oh, by the way, if you're keeping yourself from going on vacation, you don't want to go on an airplane because you think you're going to die. I don't get on airplanes because I'm claustrophobic. I just freak out. But it has nothing to do with I'm afraid I'm going to die. I don't want to get on airplanes because I'm going to die. Or I'm going to die the next time. Or I'm going to die the next time. I got good news for you. You're only going to die once. That's it. Don't lead your life with fear. Don't let fear lead your life. Everyone is going to die at some point. It's not a matter of if, it's just a matter of when. You have some control of the quality of your life, but no control over the quantity. A doctor can save heal your bones and keep your heart working a little bit, but when it's your time to go, it just is. I saw some commercial yesterday for wrinkle cream. I'm going to burn my wrinkles away. Yeah, but guess what? You're still going to die. You might look great, but you're still going to die. Kenny Rogers looked great, and he's still dead. It's just going to happen, people, no matter what. The only people who are concerned about your death are the people who are going to make money off of it, and the other people who think they're going to gain some power because of it. When you're gone, you don't care about that power anymore. Your children, oh, I got to save up my money and make sure they have, insurance policies and all, so they can what? No. Don't save your money for your kids to spend. Don't let them get a brand new car because you died. Spend your money. You earned it. This is your life. You earned it. Live your life. Because you don't know if you're going to be here tomorrow. I would say if I'm going to be here tomorrow, but I already know when I'm going to die. I've already asked that question. I could ask that question for just about anybody, but do you really want to know? I know because I know how much work they have for me to do. And I got a certain amount of time to do that. So it's kind of important that I know. Get out and live your lives the best that you can. Enjoy your lives. But death itself, it's just something that's going to happen in order for your body to die so your soul can move on. That's it. What's death going to feel like? If you think it's going to be some super painful thing? No, it's just going to shut off. What it's going to feel like when you wake up is like having 100,000 orgasms. That's what that's going to feel like. You're going to wake up and you're going to be free of all this mess. You're going to stand up. You're going to look down. You see your body. You're going to move to the left and you're going to go, I don't need that anymore, and walk away. And you're going to go, I feel great. Cross over into the light. You'll go back to being 30 years old. Don't cross over, stay here earthbound, and you will look and feel just like you do the day that you died. That's what sucks about being there. If you died at 75 years old and you don't cross over to the light, when you're on that side, you look like you're 75 and still feel like you're 75. That's what comes with it. Do you see something rewarding in that? Because I sure don't. So cross over. And if you fulfill your purpose, you won't have to come back again. So if you get it in your mind that you will try to fulfill your purpose, you will. You want to walk around blindly the rest of your life, thinking this life is all about you, and taking 100 selfies every day and putting them on Facebook every day, and getting people to tell you how wonderful you are every day. If you're a self-centered, self-righteous asshole, go right ahead. You'll be back the next time. You don't want to be here next time. Or you can go out and help people and leave and go to heaven where there's no pain, there's no sorrow, anger, grief, guilt, anguish, none of that bullshit. No bullshit. And live another life forever. Is there a heaven? Absolutely. I've seen it. They've shown it to me. It's beyond wonderful. I can't describe it completely because it's so wonderful. It's hard to fathom it. But from what I saw, it looks pretty damn cool. I can't wait to get there. It's just not time for me to go yet. Alice says, it's very hard. I also listen to meditation music. When I meditate now, I used to try to just say, I would say the word empty out loud and then empty in my mind till my mind would clear out, and then I could have a clear mind and meditate, and messages come through to me. Now I listen to music. I was telling Carol about that, Alice Carroll about that, and others about that. Listen to meditation music, because my wife and I got these massages, and the woman was playing this meditation music. When I closed my eyes, usually I see regular spirits' faces. When I close my eyes, I saw the angels. They only come in when I ask them to come in, or if they have something they really need to tell me. As soon as I closed my eyes, I saw them, and I was like, "Oh, hey guys," because I'm on that kind of level with them, but I was surprised to see them that quickly. It was because of the music. Well, yes, Alice, sometimes if you get too lucid from it, you could fall asleep, but that's because you have to learn to get in control of that. And it takes a few times to practice. It took me a few times. I'm like, when I tell you something, I'm telling you from my experience. But just like anyone else, I have to learn to do things too. Not everything comes natural for me in this. Some things do, but a lot of things don't. Meditation was very hard for me to learn how to do. Because meditation, people would tell me, "Oh, do guided meditation." Guided meditation. "Oh, you're climbing a tree. Okay, and now you're going upstairs." I am not going up no frickin' stairs. My knees are hurting. I'm not going upstairs. I'm not going to climb a tree. I'm going to fall out of a freaking tree. Can't do that. So I listened to try to just to have my mind clear and do it myself, but it was hard to do. Well, with the meditation music, it comes easier, but it comes easier so quickly. Your mind clears out so fast, man, you could fall asleep real quick. So you got to do something. My suggestion, Alice, would be to cross your fingers and hold them like that, pressured like that. You keep them pressured like that, and that's going to keep you awake. You'll still be in that lucid state, but the pressure of your fingers being together are going to keep you awake. Keep them in an uncomfortable position like that, where you feel the pressure against each of your fingers. Do what you can to practice staying in that lucid state without falling asleep, and you'll get so many messages that way.
Yeah, if you're sitting upright,
Yep, sitting
don't
upright.
lay down.
Don't lay down. Don't
Or-
cock
or
yourself back.
recline.
And next thing you know, oh, yep, snored. Here I am. It's just takes practice. Keep practicing. You'll be okay. So yeah, what does death really mean? It's just your body is dying in order for your soul to move on to the next part of its journey, which is heaven or earthbound spirit. No one goes to hell because there's no such thing as hell. There's no such thing as a devil or Satan. There is Lucifer. He's an angel. He's just like all the other angels. He's not the bad guy. They just have to make a bad guy in order to punish you. They have to put you someplace like prison. There has to be a warden. So they have to make a warden, and they turned him into the warden because they said he was the most beautiful angel. They're all beautiful. I will give you this. I tell people, angels do not look like people with wings. That's made up as well. They don't have wings because if you don't have a body and you're in a place where there's no space and time, they're not flying anywhere. They're just there. They could be up in the air. They could be down below, all around the place. That doesn't mean they're flying. They're just where they are. No one flies away. Heaven is not 3,000 miles up into the sky. It's right next to you. Just you can't see it. That's all. I can see it. But I'm not meant to be there yet. And neither are you. That's why you don't know about it. Because you're not meant to be there right now. You're meant to be here. If you remembered everything from heaven, you wouldn't be able to function here. You wouldn't be able to learn your lessons and fulfill your purpose. You'd be too fixated on being back there. It's not what you're here for. Everyone who's passed away, you're not supposed to be fixated on their deaths and fixated on missing them all the time. They're gone. They're not coming back until it's either time for them to come back or you're already gone. You're not supposed to be fixated on that. Let it go. You can't bring them back. No matter how much you jump up and down, scream and cry, send letters, it's not going to happen. They're not coming back. Get over it and move on with your life. Because if you don't, you will come back again. Because you were a stubborn ass. Get over it. Hacks and quacks. There are many hacks and quacks in this industry. This is an industry now. I have seen the hacks and quacks. We did a festival back last January. And I saw this guy standing there with his stuff for sale. And he had this big giant metal pot. And you were supposed to stand in the middle of the metal pot. And he took this big stick with a cotton ball end on it. And he went, and he hit it. And it would go bong. And he said, when you do that, it would raise your vibrations. Bullshit. I would walk past people and go, oh, you look good standing in that pot. All you need to do now is add some vegetables and water and we can make soup. Because that's about all that fucking thing's good for. Because it's bullshit. It doesn't raise your vibrations. You raise your vibrations by connecting with your soul. That's it. The only way you're going to do that. And you can only go so high. The Dalai Lama cannot be super duper, like he says he's, his vibrations are as high as angels. No, they're not. They can't be. No one can be that high because you're attached to a body. He may have his high, but they're not even as high as mine. I've asked that question. I said, is the Dalai Lama, is his vibration higher than mine? No. Is it as high as mine? No. He's just an elected person. They put him into his position. It's like the Pope. You can make your vibration higher. Only you can. Not some tuning fork or some tuning bowl. It doesn't work that way, people. And if you're going to play into that, you're going to pay into that. That's what you're going to do. There's another thing we see at these festivals, and they do what's called a what is it?
The aura
Oh,
photography.
The orotography, something like that, where
Aura photography.
Aura photography. They take a picture of your aura. No, they can't do that. They're taking a picture of your heat signature. That's what they're doing. You can't take a picture of your soul. You just can't. The only time you can see your soul are two ways. One, because I see spirit 24/7. I can see spirit everywhere. I can see the one that's inside of you. But when you see someone who's dead walking around, their body's dead, their soul, because it's detached from the body. That's when you can see a soul. And people see them all the time because it's not attached to the body. I can see the one that's inside of you, and sometimes they're messed up and I can heal them. But how do they get messed up? Because we stress ourselves out. We stress the soul out. But are they going to take a picture of your soul? No. They should be taking a picture of your wallet because they're trying to see how much money you got in there and they're trying to get it. That's what they're trying to do. We saw this guy who was next to us he was charging $90 a pop. $90. And he was solid booked. And people were like, oh, look, this is my soul. And I was sitting there telling people come up for me, oh, I'm going to go there next. Why? He can't take a picture of yourself. Really? Yeah, really. He's not doing that. He's bullshitting. He's trying to get your money. So yeah, there's hacks and quacks in this. I've had people do readings on me who were real and people who did readings on me who were quacks. They did a reading on me and didn't pick up anything about me being a medium. Oh, you have all this negative energy around you. And I said, yeah, I know. You know? Yeah, I know. You want me? I can do something for you. I can get rid of them. No, you can't get rid of them. I'm protected from them. What do you mean you're protected? I have angels around me. Oh, yes, you have angels around you. Well, you didn't say that until I told you that. But you do. I said, yeah, I have archangels. You have archangels? Yes, I have archangels. Why do you have archangels around you? Because I cross spirit over into the light. Because I'm a medium, and you didn't even tell me that. Oh, yeah. Oh, shit. I just outed you, and you don't like it. Now I'm going to tell everybody else that you're not real. That's the one thing I will do for my for my friends, the people I do readings for, my patrons on Patreon. If you are going to want to talk to someone else who is a medium or a psychic, you need to do your research on them. You need to do your homework on them, find out they have any reviews, ask around, ask about them. Some people out there charge $500 and aren't worth $5, you know? So if you need help doing that, you're looking for something else other than myself, I will help you with that. So to find someone for you who is real, who can help you. Because if you're going to pay $500 and they didn't tell you anything you didn't already know, why don't I charge $500? Because I don't. That's why. Are you getting a crappy reading because I only charge $75 per session? No. I just don't want to charge people $500 because I think that's a ripoff. Because what they have is a gift. What they're supposed to be doing is good things with that. They're not supposed to be driving around a BMW because they can do it to get money out of you. They don't need 6 BMWs and 7 cars and 8 boats. 6 houses. They don't need all that stuff. They need 1 house. That's what they need. They need to stop charging people out the yin yang for their own ego. That's what they need to do. That's why I charge $75 for a session. Because I genuinely want to help people. And that's what we're here to do, help people. Not wring their pockets out so they can't pay their bills. What's his name? Joel Osteen drives around in a Maserati, but you have to drive around in a beat up old Volkswagen. And he lives in a giant mansion. And you're eating ramen every night. Now, Joel Osteen's a fucking douchebag. And he's doing it because he can and because people out there allow him to do it. You don't have to be that way. You want to steal people's money? Good luck with that, man. You're coming back. Joel Osteen is not talking to God, and God is not talking to him. Joel Osteen is talking to his banks, and he's talking to his people who his investors, and looking at all his investments before he looks at you. He doesn't give a shit about you. There's a lot of people in the world like that. Don't confuse yourself with those people. We already talked about ancestry. The last video I did for this year was called The Message. What did I mean by the message? I'm talking about the message that you're going to receive during your reading that you get. What is the message? The message is for you, but it's not the secret special message that you think you're going to get, that your mom and dad are going to tell you that they forgot to tell you about the money they hid in the walls or the insurance policy and all that bullshit. Has nothing to do with money. Has to do with your well-being. That message is for you, all right. But it's not the message you necessarily want to hear. It's the message that you need to hear. That, like the message of you're screwing your life up and you need to get your fucking act together because you're acting like an idiot. And you can't make good decisions. Or you make decisions and then you talk yourself out of them. Spirit wants good things for you. They don't care about money because they don't deal with money where they are. They also don't deal with Bibles where they are. But they don't deal with money where they are. They don't have money, so because they don't need it, because they don't sleep, eat, or breathe.
Alice Carroll asked about soulmate, true or false?
I'm going to answer that one for you in a minute, Alice. Big misconception with soulmate, Alice. Big misconception. Oh, boy. But anyway, Spirit is going to talk to you about the message that you need to hear. The video I talked about was this woman, a vacation lady. She asked me about, she wanted to go on all these trips and she wanted to go on these cruises. But she asked me where she was going to get the money from when we got into it. Because I told her, I said, well, Spirit's telling me you have a hard time saving money and you need to save money better because every time you get money, you spend it. So you're not going to be able to go on cruises for another 3 years because you need to learn to save your money so you can go on these cruises. It's not going to happen this year. But I want to go. I just said, I don't care if you want to go. You're not going. Are you telling me I can't go? I said, no, I'm just telling you you're not going to go. And she says, why? I said, because you're not listening. Because you don't have the money to go. You're already in debt. You got to get out of debt. And that's when she told me, she said, well, yeah, I'm $50,000 in debt, plus all my credit cards are all completely or maxed out. I'm living day to day. And I don't make enough day to day to pay off my bills. So it's just they keep, I said, yeah, until you fix that, you're not going on any cruises. And she said, that's not what I want to hear. I said, I don't care if it's what you want to hear. It's what you need to hear. In order for you to go on those cruises, in order for you to go on vacation, you need to have money to do that. And you don't have the money to do that. So in order for you to get that money, you have to get rid of all your debt and then start saving money. And then you'll go on these cruises. She called me about 3 or 4 hours later on the telephone and said she wanted her money back from the reading. And I said, why do you want your money back? She said, because I didn't get a good reading. I said, you got a great reading. I said, I told you what you needed to hear. I told you what she said, but that's not what I wanted to hear. I said, I don't care if you wanted to fucking hear it. I don't care what you wanted to fucking hear. I gave you the message that Spirit was trying to tell you, but you don't want to fucking listen. You're not going on fucking cruises because you don't have the money to do it and you're in fucking debt. But isn't Spirit supposed to fix that for me? No, you're here to fix it. Spirit is not some magician that's going to bring you a magical bag of money for you to fix all your problems. You have your problems because you have your money problems because you did it. They're not here. They're not witches and magicians and Merlins coming in. That's not what Spirit is. Spirit's here to help you through your life and here to help you with decisions in your life. And every time they help you with a decision, you turn around and do the opposite thing. I'm not giving you your money back. I gave you the message that you needed to hear. She called me a day later and said, you were right. I said, I know I'm right. I'm not being facetious here. I'm not being egotistical here. I know I'm right because I'm asking them, because I'm into that reading for 20 minutes. She asked me a question. I ask them the question. They give me the answer, and I give her the answer. And that answer has nothing to do with me or my opinion. She wanted a question answered from Spirit. I got her the answer, and she just didn't like it. That's not my problem. It's not what I said. It's what they said. You're going to sit here and argue with them because they know everything and you don't. What do you want me to tell you? You want me to pretend like some of these mediums out there that everything is rainbows and unicorns? Because it's not. Spirit is not about rainbows and freaking unicorns. They're trying to help you through your life the best way you can. They're not trying to help you go on every fucking vacation and go on every fucking cruise and buy 6 boats and 10 mansions and all that bullshit. If that's part of your life, it's part of your life, but it's in there for you to learn something from it and to maybe help other people with that money that you have, not just sticking in your pocket. A lot of people don't, so they return. But she just didn't want to listen. It took her a couple of days for it to sink in till she finally said, you're right. That was the message. The message you're going to get is the message you need. It's not always what you want to hear, but it is what you need to hear. As a matter of fact, I did a reading last year, not 2020, but 2019, in Annapolis from this woman, and she came by, and then her mom came by. She got such a good reading, she sent her mom back. And her mom said, I want to move to California, and I want my daughter, me and my daughter and my other daughter are talking about moving to California. I said, what's out in California? She said, my son. I said, why do you think your son's out there? You think if he wanted to be around all of you think he wouldn't be here? She said, looked at me like, I said, you're how old? Because this woman looked great. My wife and I were looking at her. She looked fantastic. She was like 74, 75 years old. Her daughter was like 40 something. They all look alike too. They all looked great for their age. And I was like, how old is your son? She said, 33. I said, your son is out in California having a great time. Do you think he wants his mom there all the time, living in the house with him? And his two sisters? Really? Well, we miss him. I'm sure he misses you too. But he wants to live his life his way, not with his two sisters and his mom breathing down his back all the time. I said, but it doesn't make a difference. I said, because you're not going. She said, what do you mean I'm not going? I said, you're not going to go. Trust me. You're not, no one's moving to California anytime soon. I said, but you yourself are 74 years old. You have to pick up and sell your whole house, then move it all out to California. You're not going to know anybody. I said, where are all your friends? She said, back in New Jersey. And she says, and I have my daughter here in Maryland. So you're going to pick them up and just move and not know anyone when you get out there. What are you going to do when you get out there? Because your son works, right? Yep. So what are you going to do all day? I don't know. What do you do when you're here? Oh, I got friends and groups and all this stuff. So you're going to leave all that behind to go out to California to do nothing. And she said, well, when you put it that way, I said, I'm not putting it that way. It is that way. I said, but you're not going to go. I said, believe me. I said, because things are happening right now. They're going to prevent you from going. I haven't talked to her, but I bet she didn't go to California. COVID came.
Mm-hmm.
But I did a reading for her daughter as well. And I said she was going to get a new job. I said, oh, don't worry, you're going to get it. But you're not going to go get that new job and then all of a sudden pick up and leave and think you're going to get transferred out to California. It's not going to work that for you either. So, but they got the message that they needed to hear from Spirit, because Spirit told me they're not going. And I said, well, Spirit just says you're not going. It's not my opinion. Because when I do a reading for someone, I don't give them my opinion unless they ask for my opinion. Well, what do you think I should do? And I always say, I think you ought to listen to Spirit, because they know better. They know everything. Listen to them. Do what they tell you to do. And follow through, and good things will happen to you. But when you talk yourself out, because a lot of people I do readings for, I do a reading and they walk away and they go, what should I do? What do you mean, what should I do? You just asked for a reading. You just asked for the answers. You got the answers. And now you are going to second guess the answers? Why did you even come to me? And then they look at me like with that puzzled look. If you want an answer for something, it's because you want closure on something. We don't ask for answers to second guess answers. If you're a person who second guesses every answer you get, your life is fucked up. You need to go fix that. You're asking for answers from Spirit, from angels. You're asking God to tell you, because when you get an answer from an archangel, you're getting an answer from God. And you ask God for something and he gives you the fucking answer, you need to go out and do it. Ask yourself, are you going to second guess what God just told you? Everybody in the world prays to God. Everyone asks God for everything in this world. But when they get it, it's not good enough. Hello? Hello? If you get the answer from God, do what he says. Because I guarantee it's going to be something good. Something good is going to come from it. But you got to follow through with it, people. You have to follow through. You got to learn to follow through with it. That's the message you'll get from a real reader. You may get something else that, you got some negative energies around you and something like that. And the what she told me was, I can take those negative energies away from it if you give me a gift. And I was like, I already played this game years ago. I found out what the gift was. When someone tells you, I can take these things away from you if you give me a gift, and they say, some people give me a small gift, some give me a great big gift. What they're telling you is, I want your money. If you give me a small gift, a small amount of money, I will get rid of some of those things. But if you give me a great big amount of money, then I'll get rid of all that for you. It'll go away. No, it won't. Your problems are your problems because you created them. That's it. And the only way you can get out of them is by getting yourself out of them. We create our own storms, but then we cry when it rains all the time. Meaning we cause our problems and then cry about them all the time. If you don't want negative people in your life, get them out. I was just talking to someone on the phone the other day. She told me, I need to, she said, I need to pick up my life and move somewhere else and get a new identity. And I said, why is that? She said, because of my daughter and my ex-husband. And I said, well, I thought you were away from your daughter and your ex-husband. She said, well, I was. I said, yeah, you were. I said, the only way you can get away from them is by getting away from them totally. I said, but you didn't do that, did you? She said, no, I was kind of watching my daughter and things were changing. She started to act good again. And so I let her back into my life. I said, ding, you let her back into your life along with your ex-husband. She said, yeah, it worked for a couple of months. And then she started acting up with her shit again. I said, how long has she been doing this shit? She said, like 25 years. I said, and you still haven't learned after 25 years of your daughter and your ex-husband causing you bullshit in your life? You haven't learned yet? She said, I guess I haven't. Because now they're causing so much problems. My son wants to move away from here and move over to another state. I said, you can move to another state, but until you get rid of the problem will not go away. It will follow you to another state because someone will absolutely, who wants to irritate the shit out of you, will drive 2 or 3 hours just to do that because they'll work it through their entire head. By the time they get there, they might shoot you with a gun because they're so freaking mad. The only way you can get rid of that problem is get it out of your life. When they call, go, oh, it's that person. Hang up. Don't even answer the phone. If you want to let them in, they start talking to you, and then they start bullshitting, hang up. Oh, but you just hung up on me. Yeah, because I don't want to hear your bullshit. That's why. Click. That's it. Stop talking to them. Because there's no rule book that says you have to talk to anybody. I don't care if it's your mom, your dad, your brother, your sister, your cousin, your best friend, your so-called best friend, your ex-husband, whatever. If you don't want them in your life, don't have them in your life. And if they continue to be a problem in your life, you can't blame them because that's what this person was doing. You blame yourself because you're the one that allows that person into your life. You don't want to deal with their bullshit? Don't deal with their bullshit. Walk away. And then don't allow that person. So as long as you keep looking at them and observing them, then you're still allowing that person in your life. You can either watch the news on TV or don't turn the TV on. Or don't turn that channel on at 6 o'clock when the news comes on. Watch something else. It's either on or off. They're either in your life or not in your life. And the only one who's in control of that clicker, the big clicker of life, is you. That's it. And after I talked to her about it, she finally calmed down. She said, yeah, I know. I did it once before because you told me to do it, and it was good for a while, but now it's back in because, yep, you're right. I allowed him back in. I said, well, kick him back out. Stop talking to him. Tell her to leave. That'll be the end of that. You can make the decisions, people, if you want to. You just have to want to. When you get those feelings inside of you, it's because Spirit is telling you, you need to get rid of this person. But if you keep fighting them, guess who's going to end up on the shit end of that stick? You are. The only way you can have a clean stick is by throwing the stick away. That's it. So Alice was asking soulmate, true or false? Alice, we are all souls. Everyone in here, listen very clearly. Put your ears out. And they look big. My ears look big. Ginger, hello, Ginger. Soulmate, yes or no? Yay or nay? Yes, in a sense. We are all souls. Everyone has a soul inside of them. As many souls that cross over into heaven, there's that many souls that don't cross into heaven. There's gazillions of them. Gazillions of souls. They just keep being recycled. They don't make new ones. They just keep being recycled. There's so many of them. But is there a soulmate for you? Your soulmate is not necessarily someone you fall in love with. Your soulmate could be your best friend. Your soulmate could be a dog or a cat. Someone that you were connected to more than the others while you were in heaven. They just happen to be here when you're here, and vice versa. You may connect with a person who you can tell everything to that could be your best friend, and that could be your soulmate. It's just someone that you are really connected to. Has nothing to do with mate, mean mating, or whatever your version of mating is, scissoring, I don't know, whatever you do. Or if you're having regular sex, whatever you're doing. I don't care if you just have an anal, whatever you're doing. It has nothing to do with that. It's just a connection that your soul makes to another soul. That soul doesn't have to be human. It could be a dog. It could be a cat. It could be an elephant. It could be a giraffe. It could be a dolphin. It could be anything. Because your souls are connected because you knew each other while you were in heaven and you hung out together all the time and you really liked being with just that one. And you came here and you met up with them again. Doesn't mean anything about having sex and falling in love with them. None of that stuff. It just means you're attracted to that person. They're attracted to you. The souls are connected. And you're just that good with them. That's all that it is. It's not about, I have to find my soulmate. You know how many people don't find their soulmates? You know why? Because you're here and they're not. That's it. They're still there. That's it. Not everybody here is going to find their soulmate. Soulmate is nothing that has to do nothing about finding them here and falling in love with them. That's so much bullshit. They want you to believe in that. Why? Because they want your money. The people who are telling you that, you're going to find your soulmate soon, not give me your money. Oh, you're going to find them if you give me $150, I'll find them for you and let them know. It's like through my mind, melding with their mind to get them to come to you. No. Doesn't work that way. My wife has been my wife in other past lives. Because we work well together.
I was going to say, because we didn't get it right the first few times.
Yeah, I guess we didn't get it right the first few times. But
no, we do work well together.
And apparently other lifetimes, we've had children in those lifetimes too, but we didn't have any together in this lifetime. I don't have any. She has two.
No,
I have two stepchildren.
We have 7 fur cats.
We have 7 fur babies.
Yeah.
Yep, we have cats. There are I'm told that my cat Shadow is a soulmate to me. He keeps me, and I keep him. Sometimes when my cat is sick, I'm sick. Sometimes when I'm sick, my cat is sick. That's how those things work. That's a soulmate. You click together completely. And it has nothing to do with the the sex that you are. I'm a woman and I should be with this man, or I'm a man and I should be with this man, or I'm a woman I should be with that woman. Has nothing to do with that. It's how well you work together, the two of you. That's it. So is it a love connection and all that crap? Sometimes it works out that way, but not always. Do you need to be in search of your soulmate? If you find them and you run into them, but how many people have you heard online going, "Oh, I met my soulmate," and then 3 years later, we got divorced. He's a fucking asshole and she's a piece of shit. I thought that was your soulmate. I thought so fucking too. But no, not always.
That was the person you were supposed to be with at that particular time.
Right, because we all come into our lives for certain times, certain periods, for a season or for a reason. That's it. And then when it's time for you to go, it's time for you to go. And if it's not, you're together or you're not. You're together or you're not. That's it. Let it go. All that soulmate bullshit is bullshit. That's what that is.
Ginger posted a comment. I'm going to go upstairs and take my medicines.
Ginger says, I'm in a bad place mentally. Just listening to you keeps my mind off of all of it. You can keep your mind off of all of it all the time if you want to. You just have to decide you want to. Meaning, like I said earlier, Ginger, you could be an alcoholic and I could be your friend. And the only way I could take you to classes. I could take you to AA. I could spend time with you to keep you from drinking alcohol. But all of that isn't going to do a goddamn thing for you. The only way that you're going to quit drinking alcohol and being an alcoholic is if you quit drinking alcohol. The only way you're going to quit smoking cigarettes is if you could quit smoking cigarettes. I can't do it for you. No one can do it for you. If you want to quit being a fat fucking bastard, you quit being a fat fucking bastard. You do what you got to do to lose the weight. Because Jenny Craig don't give a shit about you except your money. Okay? The keto diet and these gyms and all that shit, they don't give a shit about you except getting your money. The only person that's going to lose your weight is you. And there's only one diet out there. Absolutely only one diet that works. It's not a pill. It's not a drink mix. It's definitely not surgery, because I have seen so many people get those surgeries and turn around and a year later they're fucking fat again. And I don't care if they don't want to hear it from me. I don't care if they don't like it. I don't care if I offend them, because the people I offend, I only have to put up with them once and they walk away and I don't have to listen to them again. There is one diet out there. Eat less and move more. And if you can't because you're stuck in a wheelchair and you can't get out, then that's why. And you just are what you are. And you have to decide whether you feel like you're overweight. People out there, oh, I'm 20 pounds overweight. Do you want to get rid of it? Well, not really. Then decide you are who you are. Accept yourself. Like I said, we are all enough. Everyone in this world, everyone in this room who is watching me, you are enough of everything and anything that you want to be. You just have to accept that you are. And that's it. Have the confidence that you are, because I know you are. He knows you are. You need to know you are. And no one else is going to help you be that except for you. A psychiatrist can talk to you, but you have to get rid of those feelings and those thoughts from your mind. And the only person who can stop that from happening is you. You're the only one who can make it go away. I can give you drugs and give you Band-Aids, but that's all they are. They suppress and hide, but they don't take it away. The only way it goes away is if you want it to go away. I had a woman I was talking to last time on here on the live thing. And she said, I can't get out of bed. No, it's not you can't get out of bed. You won't get out of bed. You can get out of bed because seeing pictures of you, you can get up and move around, but you just won't. Same thing with you. It's not that you can't get out of your head. You won't get out of your head. Your thoughts are in your mind because you allow them to be in there. And until you stand up for yourself and release them, it's your ego that keeps them in there. The world taught you that it's okay to feel horrible and feel sorry for yourself. No. You feel sorry for yourself because you allow yourself to do that. You feel horrible because you allow yourself to do that. How come you're the only one feeling sorry and horrible for yourself, but no one else is? Everybody else gives you pity or something like that, but what's pity worth? Can you hold pity in your hands? Because I can't. Can you see pity up in your hands? Because I can't see it. All these people taking 100 selfies and going on Facebook and, oh, look at me, look at me. Oh, you're so beautiful, you're so beautiful. 5 minutes later, I got to put another selfie on because that beautiful that someone told them didn't last, and they needed it again. They're like a drug addict who needs all these compliments all the time. No, you don't. If you need that all the time, you have a confidence problem. You need to go fix that. You need to let that go. Or you're just trying to be told you're pretty by everybody so you can feel like you're better than everybody else. No one is better than anyone. Sorry. We are all the same. You came into this world like anybody else did, Ginger. You didn't have pain, anger, sorrow, grief, or guilt, or anguish, all that stuff. Greed, power. You didn't have any of that when you came into this world. And you're here now, meaning you were in heaven once before. So if you went into heaven before, more than once, you let go of all that mess. When you left here and went there, you had to come back because you didn't fulfill your purpose. If you have let go of it before, if we all let go of it when we leave here and we go there, then why do we carry it now? Because we have let the world convince us it's okay to carry it around. Do you think it's okay to carry it around? I don't. I think it's bullshit. I think it's a crutch that people want other people to help them with because they didn't want to do it. They don't want to do it themselves. They're lazy. That's what they are. If you're allowing that to happen to you, you are allowing that to happen to you. No one else made you feel the way you do. Someone may do something, but you accepted it. Someone can call me an asshole all day long. Please put in the comment section, Daniel, Spirit Medium Daniel, you're a fucking asshole. And I will look at it and go, whatever. Because they're only words. Because God didn't create words. Man created words. And you can say whatever word that you want to that begins with the letter F, like fire truck, and he doesn't give a shit. What he doesn't want you to do is just say that to other people and put negative energy on other people. But if you accept that negative energy, that's you accepting it. You have to learn to let it go. All these negative energies, all these negative feelings you got going on, wrapping inside your head, going around and around, around 100 miles an hour. You have to learn to let it go because they're not important. And you're not going to live your life the way you're supposed to live your life. You're not going to fulfill your purpose. You have not. I'm asking them right now if you have fulfilled your purpose, Ginger, and you have not. You have time. You don't have much time, but you have time. When I say they're answering me, I'm talking to them. So spirit touches me. Sometimes they put thoughts into my mind. 65% of the time, apparently. Not apparently, 65% of the time, my thoughts are not my thoughts. My thoughts are their thoughts, and they put them into my mind. It used to be 50-50, and then it went to 60-40. Now it's 65-35. And I'm slowly creeping up to a point where it's going to be 90% them and 10% me. I'm already, my mind is just different. But that's what they do. Or when I ask a question, a direct question, they touch me for answers. It feels like a finger just right across my forehead. I get one there, right here, and right here. That's all yes answers. When I get a no answer, I get one single no answer, and it feels like a tear is running down my face. Starts at my eye and runs down my face. That's no. I have certain archangels that are touching me. I have a Raphael. I have Manos. I have Gabriel. Another Raphael. Uriel. Michael. Paul. Jesus. Lucifer, not the devil. Another one that touches me here. Feels like she's rubbing my head. Her name is Helen. And that's yes answers. But when I get a no, it's always, I don't know which one is doing the no, but it's always no. And I asked, has she fulfilled her purpose? No. Does she have time? I got an answer like this. This is a sum. If you had a lot of time to do it, I would get that, or I'd get that, or that, or that, or that. But I got some. That means you don't have a lot of time to do it. You need to figure that out. That means you need to let go of all the bullshit that is going on in your mind that doesn't mean anything, because it doesn't. Let go of all the bullshit people in your life, because the only reason they are in your life is you allow them to be in your life. And let go of all the bullshit that is around you. Because the people who, when you walk into a room talking about you and they stop talking about that and they're all, hey, how are you? And when you walk back out of the room like, oh, she's a fucking bitch and blah, blah, blah. Those people don't mean anything to you. They're not your friends. Tell them to go fuck themselves. That's it. Let them go from your life and be done with them. And the only reason they would come back into your life is because you allowed them to come back into your life. Like I said, we cause our own problems. That's it. We create our own storms, but then cry when it rains all the time. Oh, I gossip all the time, and that person's a piece of shit. Blah 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 blah. Then, I had a flat tire. Because you're putting negative energy out. When you put negative energy out, you get negative energy back. Put it out, get it back. Put it out, get it back. Circle, 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 circle. Never-ending circle. You want that to go away? Stop doing it. Start doing good things and helping people. And help them for the sake of helping them. Because you can. Because we all can. That's all. I did a reading for one of my patrons on Patreon because I also do This is a live thing, but I do videos, teaching videos on Patreon, www.patreon.com. If you go on there, you can subscribe. It costs money. It's not a lot of money. It costs money, and you can watch videos, and I'll mention your name if you're high paying Patreon. It's not much. The highest paying Patreon there is $10. And you can ask questions, and I will answer questions for you in videos, or do a video on a question you're asking about, because the next video I'm going to do, Alice asked me about spirit coming into your dreams. Can they come in your dreams, or do they come in your dreams? And I'm going to do a whole video on that. And that's because of Alice Carroll. And I'm going to mention Alice asked that question in the video. I do things because so I did a reading for one of my patrons who came to the house. Kat came to the house. When I do a regular reading for somebody online or in person, it's $75 for a reading, and it's a session, I call it. And that session, I guarantee, is going to be at least 2 hours, maybe, if you're lucky. If you're not lucky. I did a reading with Kat the other day. She got to my house 2 o'clock. We got done the reading 7 o'clock. She was at my house for 5 hours, and time just flew by. But she got lots of information, and we talked about a lot of things. And I could have kept going for another 2 hours, but it was getting late, and she was like, "Oh shit." But that's what you get. Did I charge her some? No, because the $10 that she pays a month for those videos, that's what you get. If you pay $10 a month to watch those videos every 4 months, you're going to get a reading. And I say online it's a 45-minute reading, but ask Kat, it was 5 hours. I did a reading for one of my, but that's because she was there in person. I did a reading for my other friend here, Deborah, who's one of my patrons, and we talked for, I think, 2.5 hours. I could stop it at 2 hours. I could stop it at 2 hours and say, well, we're going longer here. I'm going to have to charge you. But I don't. Why don't I? Because I don't have to. Why did I continue to talk to them? Because there was a lot more information I thought they needed to know, and I just could. And if they wanted answers for something, they could just ask. And why do I do that? Because I just can. I know a medium who charges $400, she lives in this area, charges $450 an hour. And she'll let you go over 10 minutes. But if it goes into 15 minutes, she starts charging you again. If you get a half hour over, it's another $225. Motherfucker. That's crazy. She doesn't have to do that, but she does. She's not as connected as she'd like to think she is. But, that's on her. I'm not her. I'm me. So, I help people because I want to help them, because I can help them. And if they ask for my help, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to give them my help. Was she getting, did Kat get those other 3 hours for free? I wouldn't call it free, but I just did it because it could. And because I was enjoying myself. I thought we had a great conversation. It was fun. We were laughing. It's what people can do. It's what people can do for each other. And we can all do that if we choose to. But not all people do. You're enough of a person, Ginger. You can let all that go if you want to. You just got to decide to want to. Don't let it bother you. Don't keep it bottled up inside because it doesn't need to keep going. It doesn't need to go 100 miles an hour around in circles. If you can't see it, hear it, feel it, smell it, taste it, or absolutely do anything about it, if you have no control over it, then it has nothing to do with your life. Let it go. 3 famous words. Let it go. Because it's not important. You don't need to do it. You don't need to worry about your son because he can't get his act together. Because your son needs to get his act together. You can't do anything about that. You may be able to, oh, I'll try to get you a job, and then he fails at it. Or you try to give him another job, and he screws that up. You give him another job. How many jobs are you going to get him? No, he has to learn the lesson. And you can't worry yourself to death over something that he can't figure out. That's his journey. That's his path. He's put here to learn that, not you. And if you're just sitting home worrying about your kids and your grandkids and your grandkids and all that bullshit, or you're worrying about the person you just gave $500 to that you're not going to get it back from, you already knew ahead of time that you weren't going to get it back. And now you're going to sit and fucking bitch about it? But then turn right back around the next week and give them another $500? And then you're going to bitch about that? No. Stop being that person that gives, and gets nothing back. That is your fault. That is your problem. Well, I can't say no. Yes, you can. You just say no. Because like I was talking to Kat the other day, they will only keep coming to you if you allow them to keep coming. They are the singer, you are the audience. And they can keep singing, I need money, I need this, I need your help. They don't want your help. They just want your stuff. Because they don't want to have to do things themselves to get that stuff. They don't want to work. They don't want to keep a job. They want to do drugs all day. That's what they want to do. But I need this and I need that and I need that. And you're the audience. Oh, I love you. Here's some money. Oh, I love you. Here's some food. Oh, I love you. You can have my car. Oh, I love you. Here, I'll pay for your apartment. Oh, and mom, if you keep giving me the money and keep giving me stuff, I'll let you see your grandson. But the minute you stop giving me stuff, you're not allowed to see your grandson. Oh, but I want to see my grandson, so I'll give you the car and I'll give you the. No. Because you know what happens? Eventually, your grandson grows up, and your grandson figures out that his mother was bleeding you of all your stuff. But I might not be around. Well, if you're not around, don't worry. Because when you pass away, you'll still see your grandson. And then when he passes away and when he gets old, you'll see him in heaven. People think you're just never going to see people again. You will. You go to heaven, you'll see everybody when they get there. Or you'll see them here, and you'll see them here until they get there. Your life doesn't end. No one's life ever ends. Your body ends. You don't end. You go home. And then you, because you didn't fulfill your purpose, come back and you do it all over again. You think you missed this grandchild? What are the other 50 grandchildren you're going to have from all the other 50 lives you've had because you didn't get it right? This life is not just about this life. It's about all the other lives that took you to bring you here because you didn't get them right. Like I said about past life regression, give that up. If those lives are so important, you wouldn't be here now. You're here now because you didn't fulfill your purpose all the other times that you've been here. Because you've been here a bunch of times. Everyone has been here a bunch of times. And that life was so important. If it was so important, Why are you here now? Because you didn't get it right last time. But I was a king. I was a queen. Oh, yes. Who fucking cares? You're back here again, aren't you? You were a king then, but now you're a pauper. You got no money. That's how important your life was then. It's not about what you did then. It's about what you do and who you are now that is important. And the important thing is to learn your lessons. Picking my glasses up and putting them down is a lesson. Picking them up and dropping them is another lesson. It's not a good or a bad lesson. It's just a lesson. There's no good and bad. There's no right and wrong. There's no epic failures. There's no mistakes. It's what works for you and what doesn't work for you. And if it doesn't work for you, quit doing it. And stop giving everything away that you own so you can see your grandson and granddaughter. Because if your child is going to keep you from seeing your grandson and granddaughter, your child is a piece of shit. Because they decided to be a piece of shit. Let it go, people. It's not important. And if you're going to let your child run you into complete debt, that is your problem. The only person who can keep that from happening, make that stop happening, is you. No one else. Spirit is not going to help that. Spirit will help you try to fix it, but you have to fix your life. Pretty simple. Kat said she learned a lot from our conversation. I'm glad because I enjoyed talking to Kat. Besides that, she's good looking. Ginger says, I only have one person in my life currently and don't think he should be around. Ginger, then get rid of him. You know how to go over to a light switch and turn it on and turn it off? If you want it bright in your life, you turn it on. If you want things dark in your life, you turn it off. If you want him in your life, you keep him in. If you don't want him in your life, you tell him to get lost. Pretty simple. Or you leave. One of the two. If I'm talking to someone and they start going, I just go, I don't even give them a goodbye or anything. I just go, turn around and go the other way. And you just keep on going. Eventually, that sound gets quieter and quieter. Why? Because you're going to keep going and you can't hear them anymore. And they could be back there screaming. But I don't care because I'm not listening to them anymore. That's how I deal with people in my life. Like I said, if I offend somebody, oh well. Because I know I only have to deal with that person one time. And then they'll be gone. And then I don't have to put up with their bullcrap anymore. My choice. And it's my choice to keep them out of my life, too. If I don't want them in my life, they're not going to be in my life. The only reason they're in there is because I allow them. Or I'm just entertaining it, putting up with it. But I don't put up with much. I have a couple people in my life who are just annoying. But there's a certain reason I'm allowing that in there. When that reason's over, that person is going to find out that the only friend that they have is the other person that's looking at them from the other side of the mirror. And for me, I'm just going to go on being me. And everyone here can do that too. You just have to want to do that. Sometimes it takes a while to get people out of your life. I understand that. It's that way for everyone. but you got to know when to make your exit. Pretty simple. See, anybody got any questions? I'm looking. You can ask questions if anybody is still here. I see there's 9 people in the room. If you can, please hit that like and subscribe to my videos, to my channel here on YouTube. I also have a Facebook page, Spirit Medium Daniel Facebook page. You can come look me up at my regular page, which is Daniel Jackson, Daniel M. Jackson. I'm not going to say what the middle initial is because I don't like my middle name, but whatever. You can friend me on there, or you can just like Spirit Medium Daniel, whatever you want. But if you go to a Spirit Medium Daniel, or you go to my Daniel Jackson page, I'll friend you on there, and then I'll friend you over to Spirit Medium Daniel. I'm also on Patreon, where you can look at the videos on there, and you can learn something. Like I said, I just started doing videos back in July, and I've done 9 videos since July, and I just did another one, a recap, 10. So I've done 10 videos in a couple of months. Not too bad. And I'm doing 2 videos. We're going to try to bump it up and make it 3 videos a month. Plus, I'm also doing this live video once a month on YouTube. So you can catch me on Patreon, www.patreon.com, and you can watch the videos on there. There's 3 different tiers, $1, $5, $10. You get different things for different amounts. You can also find me on, let's see, Twitter, Spirit Medium Daniel on Twitter. You can also find me, Spirit Medium Daniel, on Instagram. I don't tweet a lot, but I do occasionally, and I try to do something on there that is uplifting. Same thing with Instagram. I also do readings, personal readings. We were doing festivals, but the festivals have all been shut down in 2020. And as of right now, they're not going to be, they're projecting they're going to be open again in the middle of 2021. But I'm telling you, probably not. But because restrictions are going to get turned back on again very soon. So they're not going away, people. Those are the ways that you can get in touch with me. You can get on my regular webpage, which is www.spiritmediumdaniel.com. I'm going to put that in the thing here. Give me a minute. That's it. That's it, spiritmediumdaniel.com, and you can go on there. You can check out my backstory. I do a blog on there a couple of times a month. My wife does a blog on there a couple of times a month. You can book readings on there. If you're close by, we can do an in-person reading, or if you want to do a FaceTime reading, we can also do that. If we do a FaceTime reading, it's $60 for the session. It's going to be 2 hours. If you do the in-person session, it's $75, and I guarantee it's going to be at least 2 hours, if not more than that. There's all kinds of ways to catch up with me. There's all kinds of ways for me to be in touch with all of you. You just have to go out there and do what you got to do to get the information. I'm always glad to talk to someone. Like I talked to that woman the other day on the phone who said she had to uproot her whole life to get away from her daughter and all that when I said she didn't have to. She didn't call me. I called her. I just said, I have her number because I did a reading for her. And I called her and talked to her on the phone for about 45 minutes. And you know what I charged her? Nothing. because we talk like, if she wants to book another reading, I will do that for her because the reading is a little bit different. But just talking to someone, anybody can just talk to someone. We can all just talk to someone if we want to. You just have to want to. And that's what I did. I wanted to talk to her and calm her down. And I did. And we figured everything out. So I can do that, But a reading is different. You're going to get messages from spirit. You're going to, there's much more to a reading than there is just a regular talk with somebody. So if you want to book a reading, you go on www.spiritmediumdaniel.com. I say that so quickly now. And you can book a reading. I will do single readings. I will do, if two people want to come, I'll do a reading for each person. It'll be individualized. I will do parties. You can have a party if you want to. There's a set rate for a party. And I'll come there. I think it's up to 8 or 10 people. Each person will get an individual reading, but it'll be a little bit shorter because it would take, 10 hours to do 10 people. I think it's like 6 hours I'll do everybody in 6 hours. But I'll manage it different. Because everybody gets kind of an education when I come to do the reading, because I tell them about everything and what entails in a reading. So you can book parties, and I'll come and do that, whatever you want to do. Everybody always gets something out of it. I've gone to businesses where I've sat in their business and did readings for people, and every time it's gone well. One time I did 16 people in one night, and another time I did 14 people. So because I can, because I will, because I want to. You should have the same feeling within you about other people, because you can, because you kill, because you will, not kill, because you will, and because you want to. We could all do that, but you have to have, there it is, one of these. You have to have a heart. You have to have a goodness inside of you to want to do these things. And we can all do it. Just have to want to do that. Like I keep saying over and over and over again, we all are enough. Everyone is enough. You are enough. You can fit in anywhere you want to. You can walk into a room full of suits with a pair of shorts and flip-flops and go, I'm here. Well, you're not supposed to be here. Well, show me a rule book. Or if you don't want to be, don't. Get up and walk back out. Walk in for 5 minutes and go, you're not my people. Walk out. Find your people in this world. Find the people who want to be around you because they enjoy being with you. Not because they enjoy bitching about you, trying to tell you how much of a piece of shit you are. Someone who's telling you a piece of shit, that you're a piece of shit, is a piece of shit. Figure that out real quick. If they're telling you you're a piece of shit, it's because they are a piece of shit. Walk away. But go out and find your people. Be around the people who inspire you, who lift you up, who want to help you, who want to help you do good things. And you turn around and want to help them do good things, and you want to inspire them. Find those people to be with. Find the people who make you laugh and make you cry within 10 seconds of each other. Be around them, and you'll be okay. All right, I'm going to call it quits, people, because it's been almost 3 hours. So like I said, if you need to get a hold of me, Instagram, Twitter, Spirit Medium Daniel. Patreon, Spirit Medium Daniel. Facebook, Spirit Medium Daniel. YouTube, Spirit Medium Daniel. That's where you can find me. Please like and subscribe to YouTube, my YouTube channel, so you'll get updates on when these videos are coming out. Please like the video for me. Smash that thumbs up there. It says the thumbs up. Hit the thumbs up, because I appreciate that, because that helps me here on YouTube, because that shows YouTube that they want me to stay on here and continue to do this. Reach me on Patreon or book a reading, whatever you want to do. And you can get a hold of me on my email address. My wife just posted that. DMJ, it's my initials, 66 at hotmail.com. You are welcome, Kat. I enjoyed talking to you. I always enjoyed talking to you. I enjoy talking to everyone and anyone who wants to listen. The message is here. I will bring you the message that you need to hear. Sometimes I will get the message that you want to hear, but I will always bring you the message that you need to hear. Everyone be good. It's the beginning of the year. I worked in prison for 6 years. When the inmates would leave, I would tell them the same thing. Be good. Don't do any stupid shit. Be good. Have a good night. Be well. Be safe. Be aware. And live within the light. Good night, everyone.